Hey everyone, Josh here with a close-up look at a Star Wars toy. And today we're going to unbox Boba Fett and his ship, Slave One, and this is from the Disney Toybox line. So if you guys aren't familiar with these, what these are figures that are actually made by Disney, and you can only get them at the Disney store, and the name of the line is actually Toybox. That's just what they call. They also do the Marvel characters and the characters from the Disney films. But let's get him out of here, and before we do, I just want to take a kind of a quick look over the packaging and show you what's on here. So they're just kind of showing you some of the features of the vehicle, and you have shoots missile, and then they're just telling you the functions, and then up here you have includes carbonite transport chamber. And then so what's kind of interesting to me too is if you're familiar with Boba Fett and what they've been doing with him at Disney, they actually changed the name of the ship, but this is one of the last products I believe you can actually get from Disney that has the original name of the ship on here. And then just kind of looking at this side a little bit, it's kind of hard to tell, but they just have a close-up of the figure. It's a really awkward box to film because it's so rectangular. But then they're just showing you here on the back, Boba Fett fits in the ship, and the wings rotate. And unfortunately, we do not have any character description on this thing, but let's get him out of here. Been dying to open this thing for a while, and let's see what this thing is, what it does, and how they interact with each other. So, all right. So, what is in the box? Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. It's a little difficult for me to film. It's just such an odd shape and size. But wow, it's actually got some weight to it. And I can already see some assembly required. And then, as you can see, well, here I'm going to push the ship off to the side. Boba Fett is in the box. We got it. Okay, so we're going to have to cut him out of the box here. And, all right. Very cool. Now we're done with this giant box. All right. It's just, I'm set up for filming action figures, and when I do ships, it's a little bit. So, as you can see, these figures are a little bit more, well, it's not really even that, you can't even really tell with Boba Fett because he has the mask on, but just breaking some of the rubber bands they got him in there with. Yeah, but this is a line that, okay, geez, wow, that's a lot of rubber bands. Wow, there's a lot more articulation than I expected. But it's kind of hard to tell with Boba Fett because he's wearing the mask. But this is a line that's just the way they design the characters and the way they draw them. They're a little more cartoony-like. And I'm kind of just trying to see what kind of things the figure does, what kind of accessories, if the backpack comes off, if the helmet comes off, anything like that. But wow, I'm actually really impressed. This is the first time I've opened one of these toy box figures. And me personally, I am a fan of the ones that do the more cartoony look. I just like that style, but I'm just really impressed. I mean, the helmet, the color of the helmet's a little off. It's like a dark gray, where you can see they got the chest armor. They got that more accurate. It's kind of green. And then, yeah, just actually, let's see, does the missile come out? Hopefully. It doesn't feel like it. The jet thrusters do move, but they do not want to stay where you put them, so I don't think they're supposed to move. I can actually see the glue on this one. They're not meant to move, but unfortunately, I do not see, he did not come with a weapon. But real quick, let's just run through the articulation of this figure, and I kind of want to show you guys what it does, because I'm curious myself. So on the head, we have up and down, and yep, and side to side. So very cool. And then here at the arm, you should have up and down, full rotation. But his cape is kind of getting in my way here. Okay, full rotation at the arm. rotation at the elbow and up and down, rotation at the wrist and back and forth, rotation at the waist. You have leg back and forth at the knee and rotation, and then back and forth at the foot. And does it rotate as well? It doesn't feel like it, but this is darn near close, other than say the ankles and maybe the body. Probably close to the articulation of a Black Series figure. So, all right, very cool. So now we got Boba Fett without a blaster. Let's see. We also have, what they have here are some instructions to show us how to put the ship together. And okay, so they actually have a little, the ship actually comes apart. So very cool. All right, let's take a look at this thing. So it's in a bag. Tied up. Let's, oh my goodness, get him out of here. All right. There is the little projectile that is going to shoot out, and then we have the wings, which we clearly have to do some assembly here. No problem. Oh, always want to be careful we're not breaking things when we open them, because it is doable. Okay, so this shouldn't be hard, I'm hoping. So okay, looks like you just stick them in and let's see what happens. All right, there you go. It's pretty tight little fit in there. So all right, so I'm just kind of curious if it stands up, but one of the first things I'm noticing about this thing is it actually has wheels. And so then they're also showing in the paperwork that we glanced at there for a second, the top of the ship disconnects, and we just found more paperwork. So how to open door. Okay, so oh, this is interesting. You can actually, from what it looks like here, and I'm trying to get this thing open. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, guys, so I kind of had to take it off camera and fiddle with it a little bit. It was very, very stubborn. So what you have here is this little door with a flap that opens, and you can put a character in here. And then what they did, instead of giving you a carbonite frozen character like Han, this has a rubber piece in it that will imprint on the characters. You press them down. So you look in here, there's just like an empty little compartment. And I don't have any other Toybox figures with me immediately that are open, but what it looks like to me, what you're supposed to do is you put the figure in here, and then you, Boba Fett's a little bit big, and then you're gonna press him down, and it's not really coming across like frozen carbonite, but there you can kind of see what, and I don't want to push it all the way down, because what I was having to do off camera is, even when you stretch it, it doesn't really look like carbonite. But, and I think one of the reasons it's being thrown off is his backpack, and I'm wondering if the backpack comes off. No, it does not. All right, so one of the reasons I had to take it off camera for a minute is this little latch right here. That's why they gave this extra set of instructions, is they want you to press your finger through and lift it up by pulling up underneath. And it just was really difficult. It was really kind of stuck. I just had to put a lot of pressure on it, and it did come off. But it's an interesting idea. I like the concept of it. Maybe we'd have to try it out later with some other figures that don't have giant backpacks, but that's what you're supposed to do. Is it presses against the figure, and then the rubber will put the image of the figure out covered in rubber. So pretty interesting little idea. I've never seen that actually done before. And just since we have the back off, I kind of want to show you guys what the back of it looks like. You do have a little speaker box here, and I will have to put batteries in it, it looks like. I see there's a little battery compartment here, and then here's the wheels and the thrusters and an on-off switch, and oh! Whoa, it has the batteries in it already. Very cool. Okay. So you have an on-off switch here on the back, and 2 buttons. Oh, and it lights up. Very cool. So there's 2 buttons, and I'm wondering if, you know, when you push them, if you're going to get different sounds, which I'm doubting. It sounds like they got different patterns. Maybe. Alright, that's pretty cool. Alright, and then just looking at show you guys what else it does. You do have the rotating wings, but they do not rotate together. Most of the Slave 1 ships I've ever had. Off switch. When you rotate one, they both rotate, but this guy's a little bit different. But there is your base, and then so let's go over here and look at the top piece of Slave 1, and then another look at the projectile here, and it's nothing fancy, just a little rounded nub, nothing fancy. And we'll just go ahead and stick that in there. Alright, and so how do we fire this thing? Let's see. Okay, so I am seeing a button, and I'm betting this is it. There's a button right back here. So let's see here. Alright, and that one actually kind of hurt. It's one of the more powerful little projectiles I've ever seen come out of one of these toys. Alright, let's take their eye out. Alright, just kidding with that. Of course, if you guys are longtime collectors, you know the reason why Boba Fett's missile stopped, never fired, is back in the 80s. But anyway, another story, different time. But so there's how the cockpit opens. Nothing fancy, just a little latch window. And then, of course, we have the blasters over here. Looks like they fully... Oh, no, they do not. Okay, yeah. Not fully rotate. You get about 3/4 of the way. It stops right there. Alright, so let's see how... And I'll be honest, guys, they do make a version of Boba Fett in this line where he comes on a bubble card, and he does come with the blaster, and I'm just a little disappointed they didn't give him the blaster in this set. So, okay, let's see how he reacts when you put him in here. How does he fit? Clearly, it's not to scale of what we saw in the film, but, you know, at least he's in the ship. If you're familiar with this line, they did make other ships. There's a TIE fighter and such, and I don't believe the characters actually fit in the ships. They stick out. So, but that is what he looks like in the ship. And then, of course, oh my goodness, we're gonna have to put it back together here. And so it's not terribly difficult. There's a big little clip on the front, and it just snaps back together. Very nice. All right. But yeah, you can see they did a couple paint highlights on the represent, not really damaged, just the used future. So, all right, let's get him back out of here. And to be honest, I'm kind of impressed with this little set. I'm mostly impressed with the figure and his articulation. So, very cool. Oh. All right, now this is one of the things I like to do with every figure. I kind of want to see. I'm just looking at the figure some more, and as you guys can see, he's got the flexible cape that hangs down. I always like to test these figures, and wow, his articulation is really loose and wiggly. It's almost like he's not going to stay where you pose him. But I always like to check, will these figures stand on their own? And yes, they will. There he is, everyone, from the Toybox line that you pick up at the Disney store. This is Boba Fett and his ship, Slave One. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the videos, and if you are, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.